So thank you for that. We're moving into the second part of our presentation. Tim Doyle is a volunteer at the Sheenboro Archives, and he will walk us through a slide presentation and take questions at the end of that. So I'll turn it over to you, Tim.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you to the Upper Ottawa Valley Genealogical Group for inviting us here to speak. So Sheenboro Archives, Heritage Sheenboro Archives, Patrimoine Sheenboro. So this is where we are located, in the basement of the Municipal Hall, which was originally the local school. So how did we all start? Oh,
okay. Is that okay? Good.
Next slide. So how did we all start? Sheeners have always been proud of their history. Back in 1985, a homecoming of sort was held over the long weekend in August. This school reunion had many former residents of Sheen return to celebrate. It started with a wine and cheese evening on Friday, with Saturday events including a baseball game and an afternoon of musical entertainment in the form of an open mic. That evening, there was an old-time dance held in the parish hall. The event concluded with an outdoor mass with many former parish priests returning. A lasting legacy from this event was a souvenir booklet with many pictures and memories from years gone by. I just want to show the dedication and commitment that one of our current volunteers has shown. Lorna Agnesi has been a supporter of preserving the history of Sheen from the early days. She was on the planning committee for the original 1985 school reunion. So next slide. So in 1997, to commemorate the 120th anniversary of the parish church in Sheen, there was a dance held in the parish hall along with a mass in the church the following day. The picture on the right was taken at this event. I should also say that we have only ever had one church in Sheen, which is a Catholic church. The original one, pictured on the left, burnt in 1918. The Bishop of Pembroke came across the river from Petawawa to Fort William on a cedar boat called the Pontiac, owned by Ron Callback. He was transported from Fort William to the Sheen Church in a horse and buggy by Billy Brennan. For this celebration, 2 souvenir booklets detailing the history of some of the families of the area were produced. Some of the volunteers who helped produce these 2 books are still active members of our current archives. Also in 1997, there was a monument erected in the mountains of Sheen to commemorate the Trout Lake settlement of families who lived and farmed there at one time. In 2011, we held our first Irish festival over a weekend in July. Saturday was a day of musical entertainment along with a tea room in the old Sheen Hotel. The Irish ambassador was a guest, and there were family trees posted in the old store in Sheen. On Sunday, there was a church service followed by lunch in the hall. To cap off a hot and fun weekend, a microburst thunderstorm came through Sheen and blew apart the tent we had rented. And here we have a picture of the Irish ambassador along with other dignitaries cutting the ribbon for the opening ceremonies. And here is the committee for the first Irish festival. Some of the committee members are still current archive members. So our second Irish festival was held in 2015. And it was again a weekend event of musical entertainment by members of the famed Leahy family, along with other musicians. There was again a tea room, and mass was held the next day. It rained early on Saturday morning, but the weather did clear. During the COVID years, you would think there was not much happening. But during the COVID pandemic, Morris Downey, whose grandparents were originally from Sheen, started posting pictures of Sheen families on Facebook, which garnered a lot of interest. People commented that there should be another Sheen Irish Festival and even maybe an archives for all these pictures. So, with the help of the municipality, a provincial grant was obtained to renovate half of the basement of the municipal hall for use as a physical space for the archives. Lorna Agnesi and Jack Brennan were municipal councillors at the time and were instrumental in getting the project started. Joanne McCann also led a group to get some assistance from the MRC, which is the regional governing body for all the municipalities in Pontiac County. We celebrated the opening of the physical space of our archives 2 years ago. In fact, 2 years ago tomorrow. The only person in this picture who is not a volunteer is the woman in the back. She is the warden of the Pontiac County, who was there for a grand opening celebration. She, along with the MRC Pontiac County and the municipality of Sheen, have been great supporters from day one and continue to do so. The rest of the people continue to be active volunteers, and we are grateful for them. And here we are this year at our first annual tea held in March. The one addition we have is the woman third from left, Lorna Gleason, who is here today with us. We can't forget to express our gratitude to our carpenter and IT expert, who has always been willing to lend a helping hand. He is also a great musician, so he can be put out front on stage when we have a musical event. We should have brought him and you could have done a duet, eh, Donna? So what do our physical premises look like? If you press on the bottom of the picture, there's a little video to show. Oh, there, it's moving. So the entrance to the archives is shared with the municipal office. It is located at the back of the building. The address is 59 Sheenboro Road, Sheenboro, Quebec. We are open by appointment, although last summer during July and August, we were open for a few hours once a week, and we will probably do the same again. Once you enter the building, so next slide. Once you enter the building, we are located to the right, down the stairs to the basement. Unfortunately, we are not mobility friendly. And the next slide.
I'm thinking about it. The next slide doesn't seem to want to move.
Play the video, maybe? Oh, there. No.
Oh, okay, let me go back this way. Patience, patience, patience.
There, and one more. Nope, back there. So this is what our archives room looked like before it was renovated. So once you're in the basement, our archives, next slide there, our archives are on the right side of the basement. Once you open the door, we have a large table to hold meetings and to work on. We have 2 laptops on individual desks, along with a printer and shelving to hold books. On the other side of the room, we have a large filing cabinet, a bookcase, shelves which hold binders of pictures and other documents, as well as binders of family histories and family trees, and a cabinet to hold supplies. So I'm now going to talk briefly about the history of Sheen and the area. It has been shaped by many influences. Geography has played an important factor in the history of Sheen. Weasel Rock is recognized as a significant archaeological site because of the indigenous art which can be found on it. It's interesting, Donna, in her talk, mentioned archaeology, and I'm also talking about archaeology as well. First Nations people have been in the area for centuries before settlers came. They considered the rock a sacred place. And of course, the river was a major transport route, especially during the fur trade. Tomorrow, June 21st, is National Indigenous Peoples Day in Canada. So we should do a land acknowledgement. This is a land acknowledgement for the other side of the river in Pontiac County. So I'm just going to read it. We would like to begin by acknowledging that the Pontiac region is located on the traditional unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe Nation. We recognize their long-standing sacred relationship with this territory, which has served as a travel route, meeting place, and home for their people since time immemorial. We pay respect to the traditional knowledge keepers and elders, past and present, and honor the Anishinaabe peoples as the original guardians of these lands and waters. I believe that we, as settler historians and genealogists, should always try to do a land acknowledgement before any meetings or gatherings that we may hold so as to honor the people that were here before us. So the earliest settlement of the area around Sheen, of course, was Fort William, which is located on a sandy beach on the Ottawa River. The site originally began as a fur trade post in 1823, established by the Hudson Bay Company. The location of Sheen on the Ottawa River came to be as a result of the early presence of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people in the area, followed by the development of the fur trade and visits by missionaries and explorers. In addition to being a major route for the fur trade, the Ottawa River also became a route for the transport of timber downriver. The first settler in the Sheen area was John Downey, originally from Ireland, who had been in Canada at least since before 1825, when he was married to Jane Smith in Bytown. He initially worked on the Rideau Canal. In 1833, he journeyed up the Ottawa River to what is now Downey's Bay and built a shanty on the shore and spent his first winter there. He then moved inland to what is now called Downey Lake. Records say John was given 800 acres by the government. This picture includes much of the land originally owned by John Downey. Settlement in Sheen increased over the next few years with Irish settlers as a result of chain migration. The Irish famine of the 1840s contributed to the influx of Irish families as well. By 1871, 2/3 of settlers were Irish. The economic base was mixed. They worked in the winter in the timber and lumber industry and returned to farming come springtime. In 1839, the Hudson Bay Company built a chapel at Fort William to satisfy the Catholic Indigenous population in the area. Prior to this, missionary priests from Montreal serviced the area. In 1845, the Oblates took over the responsibility of this mission church. By 1889, it was turned over to the Pembroke Diocese. In 1857, the original log cabin chapel was replaced by the one seen on the left. By 1872, a church was built in Sheen, St. Bridget's, seen here on the right. So what do our archives have to offer someone wanting to find out more about the history of Sheen or information about Sheen families? This is a list of some of our resources, and it's divided into both secondary and primary sources. For anyone interested in doing genealogy research on their families who may have lived in Sheen, we already have a fair bit of information on many of the families. We also have a subscription to Ancestry.com, which can help them in their search. An important resource for anyone wanting to do research on Catholic families in the Pontiac is Marriages of Pontiac County, and we have a copy of this book. Also, it is not just Sheen families that we have information on. We also have information on the Trout Lake settlement. Also, a few families who lived in Chichester but close to the Sheen town line are considered part of Sheen because they belong to the parish of Sheen. So many generations of their families were baptized, married, and buried in Sheen. Another group of Sheen families we are interested in documenting information on are those people who left Sheen in the early 1900s to go settle in Sinnett, Saskatchewan. This colony was organized by Father John Sinnett, who was a parish priest in Sheen at one time. Here is an example of some of the families who would be considered Sheen families. We also have information on the local Indigenous population. This is thanks to one of our archives volunteers, Joanne McCann, who has her master's in Indigenous Studies, along with 37 years of researching First Nations land claims and genealogy. She is pictured here on Weasel Rock with Algonquin Anishinaabe artist Simon Brascoop. So what have we done since our opening? Well, we have created a Facebook page, which I think some of you have seen. We have posted wedding pictures as well as pictures of nurses from Sheen on our Facebook page. We have also chosen Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Remembrance Day to remember these important people in our lives. We have helped both researchers and students. Last June, we set up a booth at the Culbet Festival in Chichester, Quebec. We have participated in Canada Day festivities in Sheen by marching in the parade, as well as posting pictures on Facebook from years gone by. And a little plug here, if you have never been, I would recommend coming over to Sheen for Canada Day, for our Canada Day, the Sheenboro Way celebration. It's been going on since at least 1993. We have welcomed visitors to our archives, and we held our first annual Irish Tea in March of this year. And at our tea, we did a presentation on one of the many Sullivan families from Sheen. We plan to present a family history and genealogy at each event we hold. And these are our many plans for the future. Dream big or go home, I guess, eh?
Can you tell us a few of them, because it's very hard to read?
Yeah. One thing we want to do is create a web page. We want to try to make the Irish Tea an annual one. We want to get in some guest speakers, and a couple of year project we want to work on is the bronze shoes project. I don't know if anyone has heard that, but it starts off in Ireland. It was called the Famine Walk, and I forget the counties, I think Cork, Tipperary. Anyway, if you go over there, you can walk sort of the trail that the Famine Irish took to the seaport where they sailed from. And of course, they sailed to many areas around the world. One of the countries was Canada, landed at Grosse Ile. And already in Canada, there's these bronze shoes, and they're at different places where a lot of Famine Irish settled and lived. So Sheen, because we did have a great many Famine Irish, we would like to try to get the bronze shoes statue established in Sheen. And then just continue researching on different families and the Algonquin and Anishinaabe families in the area. And finally, Donna had a poem, so we can't be outdone by Chapel, so we have a poem. Old Ireland was crowded and heaven the same. So God said to Peter, we'll stake a new claim. There's a spot on the land of Canada fair, choose only the best and we'll set them down there. A name for the place must have come from its dream. Next morn he awoke and said, let's call it Sheen. Thank you.
Those opportunities for some questions for our presenter on Sheenboro. Questions, comments, anything at all? Yes.
I'll just add to Jim, if you, as a group, do not have Genealogy Quebec, get a subscription to it, because it not only is, it is out of the Drouin Institute, so you get more than just the parish records. You have a lot, big access to it, and it is worthwhile.
Oh, thank
for
you.
People.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good suggestion. Any other comments or questions? Terry?
You said you were going to possibly open in the summer again. Do you know what day it might be?
Either Tuesday or Wednesday. We haven't decided because we know you're doing it Thursday, and I think we're going to do it 1 to 3 in the afternoon. That's when you do it, eh? Last year we did it, I think we did it sort of like 10 to 2 or something like that, but I think we're going to try the afternoon.
Thank you.
And it'll just be probably July and August as well. Other than that, we are open by appointment. We have on our Facebook page, as well as on the building itself, there's 2 phone numbers you can call, and someone will come running. if they're not over in Pembroke doing a presentation.
Okay. Any other questions for our speakers today? Okay,
This is Charles Provo. Do you hear me?
I can,
Oh,
Do
I
you?
can
I'm
hear
on
you.
Zoom,
Yes, go
so,
ahead with your question.
Oh, good.
oh,
Yes, so
Yeah, I know
my question will be for everyone of you, including the people in Pembroke. I think I've met many of you already. And general question on Protestant record from 1840 to 1860. I know it's not a popular subject with anyone, but they exist, but I've so far, after many years, no one has seemed to have access to them. Any of you have found anything in the last year?
Okay, so people heard the question. They're looking for
We're
Protestant
talking
record
record at Fort
records.
William between 1840 and 1860.
in
18
Quebec.
At the
1840.
same time,
So-
Okay,
His best source is Genealogy Quebec.
no, everything has been done. It's no, they're not there.
okay, so
They
that
might
source hasn't
not
been
be
helpful.
existing.
Library and Archives Canada has some Protestant records for Pontiac County. BANQ, Bibliothèque Archive Nationale de Québec. They have all the Quebec parish records.
Okay,
Contacted the no, well, the way it's I'm aware of all those plays, but if no one has it, that's okay. It's a very specific question, and a lot of research has been done. So it's either you have it or you don't. It's okay.
okay. I don't believe we have it here at the Aparo Valley. Okay.
No,
All
I
right.
know.
Thanks for the question, sir. Anything else for our guest speaker today? On behalf of the group, we'd like to make a presentation to the Sheenboro Archives. Thank you very much for your time and your presence. And